Well, today I was supposed to be doing recordings for Deep Dive into VTubers on Safwin, but OBS decides to be a bastard and just won't sound right, and I don't know why. So we're going to take the glass half full approach, and we're going to be watching Vexoria's lore video. Well, one of her lore videos. This is actually the first video on her channel. So today we are here with Vexoria the Sun Eater, the lore video. Now, you guys know my ties to stories and stuff. I was a horror writer. I still like writing from time to time, and I enjoy stories. And I know Vexoria has been through hardships. If you'd like to see more about that, please go and check out my deep dive video I did on Vexoria, as she is genuinely one of the most misjudged and misrepresented VTubers out there. But without any further delays, I've never seen this. Let's full screen, and let's listen to Vexoria the Sun Eater's lore.
Welcome, travelers, adventurers, and curious passersby.
Hello there, I'm Dark the Damned.
Today, I'm going to tell you a tale of a most venomous villainess. A
One of
story
them.
marked by ancient drawings upon a cavern wall of how a simple woman became a voracious, powerful, insatiable, ever-growing, unstoppable goddess.
I can only assume that this is Zolan narrating this. And I don't doubt that this man is really in love with his wife when describing her this way. I'm already liking this. If this really is you, Zolan, doing this, mate, you've got a bloody good narration voice, I gotta say.
Today, I'm going to tell you the tale of Vexoria, the Sun Eater. Vexoria was born to an unremarkable life in another time upon another world. Born daughter to a pair of laborers, she was raised in service of a cruel overlord. As Vexoria grew into adulthood, the overlord saw the beauty she had become and sought to acquire her hand in marriage.
Oh, that's how it starts, okay. Right, so already setting off, you know, she's beauty, and I'm guessing something to do with this is going to go wrong, because, you know, it typically does go wrong.
Or at least coax her to his bedroom.
Ah, yep, see what I mean?
Vexoria, however, wanted nothing to do with the Overlord. She denied him time and time again, like the stubborn, prideful woman she was. Each time, his rage grew wider. And each time, the punishments grew crueler. Each time, Vexoria's desire for vengeance consumed more and more of her being.
I see. This might be a revenge type story, but I'm going to hold off my judgment for now.
One day, the punishment became too much. After being forced to run behind the Overlord's cart for miles in bare feet and serve dinner to his distinguished guests, Vexoria was given an ultimatum.
Also, nobody take those out of context, by the way. Sure, they sound erotic, but they really are serious, full of pain in this context.
Marriage or suffer. If she accepted his hand, then she would be given food, clean clothes, and bathed. If she refused, she would be tortured and returned to work under the baking sun until she died.
And it really is f***ed up that the world genuinely was like this a while ago. It's really sick looking back on it that people really were treated this way. Basically just as objects, and it really is sad to see this. You guys know me, I want everybody to be good people and treat everybody with respect. And yeah, I can definitely see some parallels here.
The wheels began to turn inside the cunning mind of that beautiful young woman. The laborers spoke of an ancient temple in the jungle that was said to bestow powers upon anyone brave and resilient enough to survive its depths. Vexoria's mind was now set on the power that temple may contain, but she needed strength to get there.
Yes.
Vexoria replied without skipping a beat.
Ah, so she's gonna play the waiting game then. Play along with it until she finds the time to strike. I like this already.
While everyone else heard that she had finally accepted his hand in marriage, Vexoria knew it more as an assent to herself. Yes, she had the resolve to finally take her revenge. She was gifted a queenly headdress and took her seat next to him at the feast.
And yeah, this is referring to her first model, by the way. So if you look at Vexoria's models nowadays, I don't think it has the headdress on it anymore. Well, remember, this was her debut, like her first video. So keep that in mind.
She ate more than any other at the table, enjoying food and drink far more plentiful than she'd ever seen in her lifetime. Then, after a night of services...
Oh god. I mean, I cringe whenever I hear this sort of thing in stories. And again, it really is sick that this was genuinely a real thing, that, you know, women, people in general had to suffer through shit like this. I mean, you see it portrayed in anime and the sorts, but actually knowing that it's based on something that really happened, it still makes my skin crawl to this day.
For her new husband-to-be, she fled his palace towards the temple. Vexoria fled under cover of night into the jungle. There, she found the ruins of an ancient temple to a forgotten god.
Also, can I just say that I love the art style of this? Kind of like the old drawings in a cave by ancient civilizations centuries ago. I love that aesthetic a lot. So yeah, I gotta really praise the drawing in this. It's really good.
It was said that nobody who ever entered returned. But Vexoria burned with renewed determination. She would either die in this temple or seize its power for herself and take her revenge. Before her lay a tablet with symbols alien to her eyes. She laid her hand upon it, and as she did, a voice spoke a dire warning about what lay within.
Oh, well, this could go wrong a few different ways, but I mean, if we really are in Vexoria's perspective, it kind of feels like death would be a little bit more of a better fate than just being subjected to slavery and other sorts of disgusting actions for the rest of your life. So, I mean, I can't really say that I blame Vexoria for picking the choice of going to the temple, potentially dying, but through her own means, rather than basically being used to death back where the other people were. So you really can't blame her for this choice.
Only the most worthy of the worthy may enter the tomb of the snake god. Within lies death, a fang and poison, a dreadful venom that will fill the mind with all the desires one could seek in a finite mortal existence.
And desire is actually a very good one word to describe Vexoria, apparently, according to the Sacrificers. But joking aside, I really am liking the setup for this so far.
Only one whose greed, desire, and hunger eclipse that of the sun itself may look upon his final resting place.
And you can see her anger, her resentment, her hunger for revenge because of how she's been wrong-treated, or treated wrongly. Sorry, why am I talking like Yoda? How she's been treated wrongly. You can see now why she's called Vexoria the Sun Eater. Her desire for revenge, power, respect, and so on. It's more powerful than the sun. I like that.
To gorge upon his power, one must feed the venom of his children to one's blood. With power comes strength unchallenged, beauty unrivaled, greed unparalleled, hunger insatiable. Walk the path of desire and deny it with every step. Only then shall you be deemed worthy.
Vexoria descended into the temple. There she found darkness and the constant sound of countless snakes hissing around her.
Alright, I like this so far.
There, either by some divine intervention, or perhaps due to the venomous snakes biting at her heels, Vexoria experienced 4 visions. Each one promised her a better life. To settle down with a slave she'd long loved and have a family was the first.
Oh, I can see the parallels here.
Vexoria pushed past it.
No,
Oh,
I want more. I need more.
Next, the visions promised her that she would successfully overthrow the Overlord and take his palace. Heaps of gold and food were placed at her feet. Vexoria hesitated for only a moment. She had been tormented by this man for her entire life, and now she had a chance to settle down and become him.
I can see. She's fighting through all the temptations, every desire that she wants. She could have it all, but she has to keep pushing past it in order to achieve her true goals. lovely to show that persistence, keep focusing on your goals and you'll eventually get what you want and, you know, get your reward. It's a very good thing to show, and it's very empowering, so I like that.
Take from him all he had. But she had been tormented too long. His domain was no longer enough. She wanted more.
His lands are no longer enough for me. He kept me starved for years, and now I hunger for more than food.
As a final temptation, the vision then showed her an image of her becoming empress of the known world. Heaps of gold were all around her. People bowed in reverence of her. She sat upon a throne and was loved. Vexoria was far more tempted for this than the
And ironically, later on, I guess you could consider a diet version of this ended up happening when her VTubing success took off. But instead of, you know, being inflated by ego, Vexoria remains grounded and treats her sacrifices with respect, which is one thing I really do admire about Vexoria, and it's why I'm a fan of her, and I still watch her, even after doing that deep dive video, because I really do admire what Vexoria does, and, you know, I'm a big fan of her. I really do like her. So yeah, in a weird way, she did get the respect and admiration that she wanted. Well, you know, minus all the horrible people, but, you know, glass half full, focus on the positives. You're really good, Vexoria.
The Overlord's domain. But the vision had now shown her that more was possible. Her imagination opened up, and the thought of people bowing to her and worshipping her filled her mind. She wanted to hold that empire in her hands. And so, dark thoughts began to fill her mind.
Empress is not nearly enough. I want to become a goddess. I want to make my every desire a reality.
Good voice acting.
I want them all to be free. I want to be worshipped.
And you did get that wish.
I want to be unstoppable.
Vexoria pushed through that last vision and found herself at an ancient altar covered in stone snakes. Upon that altar, her vision began to blur. Before her rose an ancient, long-banished god in the form of a great towering man with a snake for a head.
I can grant you the powers you desire, little one, but they come at a cost. Love will not hold you, for you will always seek the arms of another.
Except IRL, which thankfully, you know, is the case, because I'm very glad she met Zola, and I'm glad she has a family, because that's something you really need to hold deep to you. So I'm glad at least this part is fictional. She does have love, she does have people who care for her, and that's very important. You are loved, Vexoria, you are loved.
Meals shall not sate you, as you will always crave the next feast. Treasures shall not please you, for you will always demand greater tribute. Your homes shall never hold you, as you will outgrow them in search of greater size and power. If you accept this curse, then I shall give you the power to take all that you need.
I guess that, you know, showcases if you've been under attack for so long, you suffered through so long, your revenge can really be overpowering, can really consume everything. And I'm assuming that's what's going to happen here. I'm very interested to see where this goes, because there's a few scenarios in my head, but I'm not sure if any of them are correct. But sorry if there's not too much for me to say, I'm just really enveloped in the story. So sorry if I'm not as chatty as I normally would be when it comes to reactions. But sorry, let's keep continuing, I'm yapping here.
Vexoria was not one to be deterred by the prospect of having too much of anything. The curse sounded more like a blessing to her.
I accept. I will take many lovers and I will feast upon everything. I will collect every treasure and I will outgrow this world.
Will she come to regret this decision, I wonder? I suppose we'll have to see.
Make me into a goddess. Let me take my revenge. Let them see the wonder that I am. Tell me what I must do.
The god was pleased at Vexoria's greed. He agreed to surrender the last of his powers to give her the strength to defeat the Overlord. Beyond that, achieving true divinity would be her own task.
You shall devour all that is left of me, little one. My divine spark will live on through you, and you shall become divine in turn. But know this, Vexoria, you are not invincible. I was once powerful, ruling over an entire world of minuscule little worshippers. Beneath my notice, I basked in my power, and let my ambitions die.
And that's something very important to keep in mind. Even if you have all the success, even if you're so big and powerful, you are not invincible. It's why I always preach respect and to be nice and good to people where you can be. Because you never want to rule with fear. You never want to command an empire with fear, because that'll only get you so far. If you treat people fairly, if you treat people kindly, you be courteous where you can be, that will show that you will live on with a good legacy. And I'm glad Vexoria IRL does this. She's a nice lady. So I'm glad that, you know, she remembers always be nice to people.
The sun gives us warmth, but it also is a great power. And my would-be worshippers use that power to banish me here, sap my strength, and seal me away for untold centuries. Beware the sun, Vexoria.
But Vexoria was not deterred. In fact, she was emboldened.
Then I will outgrow and devour this little planet so no one can turn against me. And then
Dang.
I will eat the sun itself.
Hence where she gets the name, I guess.
I will devour everything.
Vexoria devoured the spark of the banished god as she was bidden. Her world turned to darkness, and she awoke many hours, or perhaps days, later. There, she found her form had been changed.
Oh god, she's become a Lamia. Be careful everybody, the R34 sites are already getting things written down. I'm just kidding. It is cool to see how she ended up becoming, like, half snake, half human, so that's cool. She started off as a human, but later became part snake later on, so very nice.
Her legs were gone, replaced with a tail as black as the night sky. Her eyes glowed a bright golden color. She was much larger now, standing at 8 feet tall, and 16 feet tall when her form was stretched from head to tip. After taking a moment to adapt to her new shape and admire what she had become, Vexoria set upon the village. What ensued was a bloodbath for the Overlord's men.
This power. I can do anything. Nothing can stop me. These puny spears are nothing compared to my might.
And here we go, she's exacting her revenge on all the people who wronged her. You know, can't really say I blame her. I'd probably do the exact same thing if I'd been suffering for that long and was granted all the power I always wanted but could never have as I was suffering as a victim. So yeah, can't really say I blame her.
Die. All of you. Die.
Vexoria found the Overlord. He begged for his life when none of his guards could stop her. Their weapons could not pierce her scales, and she moved far too quickly for them to defend themselves from her.
Funny, now he begs for mercy. Again, shows that even if you have all the power in the world, you are not invincible. I imagine had he ruled fairly, none of this would have happened. That's why you should always be kind to people where you can.
She retrieved the Overlord, and, as the slaves rebelled against their captors below, she dangled the man from the balcony, letting him plunge to his death below. She had won, and now her rule began.
The Overlord is dead. We are free, my brothers and sisters. Come, let us feast on all that has been denied to us for too many long years.
And I like that despite all of this mercy, despite all the bloodshed, sorry, despite all the bloodshed, she still has mercy for those who suffered alongside her. Show that the power hasn't quite gone to her head yet. I don't know if this will continue going forward, but at least for now she has a conscience.
Vexoria could have freed the slaves that day, but Vexoria was a dark and covetous woman. While she would not preside utter cruelty over them like the Overlord had, in her mind, all these people very much belonged to her.
Oh, spoke too soon.
They were her possessions now. But she did treat them well to begin with.
Yep, key word, to begin with. How's this gonna go wrong?
The first night, they raided the larders of the Overlord's palace. She and her former companions feasted all night. Vexoria ate as much as the rest of them combined, however, and took many lovers to her bedside.
Oh boy.
When morning came, everyone returned to work.
Everyone except me, darling.
Oh god, Vexoria, mate. You don't even have to try to sound. Oh my god.
Weeks went by. Each night, Vexoria ate even more. She took even more lovers. Slowly, their supplies dwindled.
Just gonna say, you know, keep going and going and going, eventually it's gonna run out.
Vexoria, however, did much the opposite. Her body began to grow from the worship and food she was given. She basked in her new size, and demanded more food from her people. She cemented her place as a goddess, and demanded she be served as such. Her former allies had now become her worshippers, whether they had wished it be so or not.
Bring me tribute, my pets.
Alright, so yeah, you can see the power is now starting to go to her head. I don't know if this will end up going wrong for her or not, but yeah, that's why you have to be very careful when it comes to influence and that. Don't let it go to your head. Treat people with respect.
More food, more lovers. I hunger so very much. Bring me everything until you have nothing left to give but yourselves.
And she'll eat them most likely.
Worship your new goddess.
Weeks turned into months. Vexoria quickly began to outgrow her palace, and so she sought more worshippers to build her a throne devoted to her growing body. Soon, however, food started to become scarce. When a worshipper turned up to tell Vexoria that there was nothing left to give her to eat in tribute, she simply wrapped her hands around the little man, drew him beyond her lips.
Yup, what did I say? I called it. When there is no food left, I'll eat you. Oh god, Vexoria, mate. Jesus. You crazy.
And swallowed.
Delicious.
The Sawyers want to have a word with you. They'd probably invite you over.
A fitting sacrifice to a goddess.
And here's why her fans are called the Snacrificers.
I want more. Surrender yourselves. Make me bigger.
And so became the first Snacrifice.
Yep.
Vexoria would demand more sacrifices from the village from that day on. Vexoria's growth continued unabated. Eventually, word of her existence reached the farthest kingdoms. Plans of an army to stop her were drawn up. But in her
You say you're not stopping this thing, mate. You're not stopping Vexoria at this point. Just wrap it up.
village, a different kind of rebellion had risen up. In fear of being eaten, the townsfolk began to hide in their houses and refused to offer themselves as sacrifices. But Vexoria had grown to the point where their homes were small enough to eat now. At that size, everything begins to look tasty. In hours, she devoured every last building that once stood in her home village.
She's gonna have some nasty digestive issues after that one, though.
She basked in the flattened nothingness, resting her hand over a stomach that digested the last domicile.
I'm surprised it can, to be honest. Surprised she doesn't have any splinters in there that'll cause internal bleeding. I'm thinking way too much about this. It's a freaking VTuber lore, but sorry.
I hope the next village is either more loyal or just as tasty. Did that last house make my tits look bigger?
Of course, yep. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for this to come in.
Or is it just me?
And so, from village to village, Vexoria traveled. She snacked on forests, buildings, and travelers alike. In each village, she demanded worship and sacrifices. Those who surrendered were spared to serve her, and those who did not were devoured and fed her growth. In time, Vexoria could fit whole villages in her mouth. So when the gathered forces of the world's armies arrived to stop her, she merely delighted at the feast before her.
You all look so delicious.
Dear God, oh Jesus. Vexoria, you're too much sometimes.
Mommy's hungry.
Oh God, Jesus Christ, okay. Oh, let's get a fan on in this room, guys. Oh my God.
Don't bother running.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna run at this point. Jesus, with that voice, no, they aren't running.
Vexoria made a quick meal of the army. Then she sent her most devout worshippers to the kingdoms of the world. They were to surrender and make her their sole ruler and goddess. And they were to prepare food, toys, and sacrifices to keep her insatiable needs in check.
What kind of toys are we talking about here, narrator? Jesus. Let's not answer that, Jesus.
The first kingdom denied her. Vexoria feasted upon it as a lesson to all the others.
Love me, obey me, praise me, feed me, desire me, worship me. Or you'll all just end up as another little snack.
She can't devour my character, though. She tried, she'd die. Because of my character's demonic possession, it would drive her insane like how it drove my character insane. So at least, if push comes to shove, if I existed in Vexoria's world, at least my character would be fine. But then again, you know, when the world goes to hell, it would just be me and her, so I'd still be stuck dying regardless, but I wouldn't die, but I'd be suffering regardless, so I don't really know. Kind of a double-edged sword here. Or maybe we'd be friends, I'm not sure.
A year went by from the day that Vexoria had become a goddess. Soon, the entire world surrendered to her. She spent days reshaping the terrain to her whims, playing with her new worshippers, and feasting. Slowly, she continued to grow, but she had not forgotten the god's warning to her. Beware the sun.
Because if she keeps getting bigger and bigger, I imagine the effects of the sun are going to mess her up.
During the daytime, she basked in its warmth. But at night, it disappeared, taking its warmth with it.
Oh, wait, no, it's the opposite. Okay, it's the cold that's gonna mess this up, okay.
Vexoria did not like that the sun had power over her. She didn't like being cold. When she was cold, she slept. And when she slept, she feared she was vulnerable.
I will devour the sun, and then I shall always be warm.
I'm not sure how that would work scientifically, because I imagine eventually it would burn out. So inevitably her fate would just be that she's cold and doomed forever, but you know what, go for it.
Nothing will ever stop me again. I will become all-powerful, a true goddess. But to do that, I need to be bigger.
Oh, here she goes.
Let the feast begin.
As weeks began to pass, Vexoria's meals grew. Villages weren't enough to sate her, so she turned to eating cities whole. She snacked on forests and mountainsides. She swallowed lakes and rivers to slake her thirst.
Well, it's good to see she's at least eating her vegetables.
Bigger and bigger she grew, while Vex reached for greater heights, wrapping her fingers around one of the planet's 2 moons. Unrest unfolded beneath her. The magically inclined of the remaining people of the world drew upon the power of the sun and blocked it away, plunging the planet into an ice age.
I was gonna say, yep, this is probably where it's gonna go wrong.
As Vexoria swallowed the moon whole, pleased with her increasing size, a deep cold began to wash over her.
You don't screw with the moon, love. That's just gonna cause a lot of bad planet side effects there. Wait, what happens if she grows so much that she goes into the vacuum of space? Will she just die from that? Does the goddess powers allow her to breathe in space, function in space, and everything? I don't know. Again, I'm thinking way too far ahead into this. It's just a VTuber story, but still.
Wait. What's this? What's happening to the sun?
Oh, it's getting cold.
No, I'm not big enough yet. There's so much left to devour. Your cities, your continents, every last one of you. So cold.
You should have wore a jacket. Or a hoodie. That's why I'm wearing one.
Done. I must.
Oh, you're getting put in timeout now. Bad Snake. Timeout.
Tired.
You need a rest. I wonder how they blocked out the sun. There's no shame in sleeping. Everybody needs some sleep. Come on, get some Z's in there.
Her old world plunged itself into an ice age, blocking out the sun and trapping the world in darkness in order to defeat Vexoria. Stopped before she could devour the sun itself, Vexoria fell into a deep slumber and shrank with her dwindling power. In time, the people figured out how to seal her away, trap her in a temple, turn her body to stone, and banish that temple to another world.
Yeah, again, that's what happens when you let power consume you. Eventually, people are going to rise up and take you out. So again, it's an important lesson to be good to people and treat them with respect. Never let your power, your influence, whatever, overwhelm the fact that you need to be a good person. Good metaphor.
Our world. Vexoria's power would gradually wane over thousands of years until one day, someone was foolish enough to venture into her temple and bring her statue into the light once more.
I wonder who that person was. I think his name begins with a Z. But I don't know. That's probably just an educated guess. I'm probably wrong on that.
Is that the sun? Oh, I'm so stiff.
I'm sure you're not the only one. Sorry, that was too easy.
No matter. You will serve me as my loyal cultist now.
Yep, I was right. I was right. Yep, I was right. That's Zolan.
This place, and I shall reward you.
And reward him she sure as hell did.
Now, Vexoria has awakened once more, and this time, she won't allow anything to stop her before she devours the sun. Given a second chance and a new reality to adapt to, she's turned to us, seeking worship and adoration, praise and loyalty, and, of course, sacrifices.
Well, you're not eating me, because if you eat me, you're gonna have some nasty consequences. I mean, being cursed by a demon apparently even has its good side sometimes. But yeah, no, I respect Vexoria, you know. I'd be a sacrificer and I'd respect her and worship her, but you ain't eating me. Unless you want to die.
In order to make her grow. This time, the world will thank her as she seals her lips around us. This time, nothing will stop her great ascension. This time, nothing will stop Vexoria, the Sun Eater.
I knew you were going to end it like that. Also, look at the cool little thing of Vexoria's mouth with the sun inside of it. Very good artwork.
Hello, darlings.
G'day, Vexoria.
I'm here.
Indeed you are.
Lavish praise upon your new goddess.
Our respects.
Worship me, for I am Vexoria, the Sun Eater. And one day, I'm going to make all of you a part of me.
Except for me. Alright, there you go. Oh, see, I was listening to Frank Sinatra and Hollywood Undead. But yeah, there we go. That was Vexoria the Sun Eater's lore video. What do I think? I really like it. I like the metaphors in there. I imagine there's a lot of different meanings in there about treat people with respect, you know, because if you don't, you know, they might take revenge on you. If you let your revenge go too far, it'll eventually take you out. Just be nice to people, I imagine. So yeah, there you go. There's the story of Vexoria the Sun Eater. Drawing Snake God voiced by Cultist. Vexoria voiced by me, of course. Alright, so yeah, that's got to be Zolan then who was doing the narration. Wonderful work, mate. You have a very good narration voice, honestly. Very good. So yeah, I really enjoyed this lore video. Thank you for letting me watch it, by the way, Vexy and Zolan. I appreciate it, mate. I'm gonna get going, though. Right, so for now, I'm Dark the Damned. Be sure to subscribe to Vexoria the Sun Eater if you haven't already. Or else she'll probably eat you. I'm probably not sure. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, my disciples.